I'd also like to ask you, Mark, given your close attention to Italian football, a lot has been said about Inter Milan and Simone Inzaghi as well. Given the fact that they were the defending champions in Serie A this time as well, they came second, a close second. They came in the finals in 2023 as well. All that criticism which is now being drawn towards this team and the manager, do you think that's fair? And do you see Inzaghi now staying with the club, or they will be looking for someone new?
No, I don't think it's fair to criticize a team that's been unquestionably one of the best in Europe over the last 2 or 3 years. As you said, they've been in two finals over the last few years, and they achieved great things to get to those finals. But I didn't expect them to beat Barcelona at all. I thought they would make life very, very difficult for them. But I mean, their performance against Barcelona, but in both legs actually, was absolutely sensational. So I think it's very harsh to be super critical of them. Obviously, they didn't turn up on Saturday. We can talk about the brilliance of PSG and all their incredible attackers and midfielders, but Inter did not play well. Like there's no getting away from that. And Inzaghi, I think he picked his strongest team. There was fitness doubts over some of them, but including Lautaro, which was obviously a big thing, and he didn't look 100% match fit at least. But some of the substitutions weren't particularly inspiring. He was bringing on defenders when maybe he should have brought on more offensively minded players like Fratesi, who was the hero in that magnificent second leg win over Barcelona. So I can understand some of the criticism, particularly because you alluded to the fact that they didn't win Serie A this season. They missed out by a point, but they blew that. They absolutely blew it. It was there in their hands on the penultimate match day, and they conceded a 90th minute penalty. And it was kind of indicative of Inter's season, and that they were consistently throwing away points that they should have won. And I think ultimately, though, that came down to the age of the squad. Is that I think Beppe Marotta pointed out that they played 19 more games this season than Napoli, who finished second. Napoli didn't have any European football, and it caught up with Inter because, as we saw in the final, they looked like an old team. They played. I think they were the first team ever to play three players either 36 or over. I think it was the oldest team in the knockout stage, and you saw the difference between PSG's youth and Inter's experience in the final. It was staggering, and it was tough to watch at times. So yeah, I wouldn't be too critical of them because I think they've achieved a lot on a very small budget. I think if you look at Hakimi, who played in the final, Inter had to sell Hakimi to Paris Saint-Germain 4 years ago to balance the books, and I think that shows the difference that those two clubs are operating on in terms of the financial plane. So I wouldn't be too critical, but late to answer your question, I do think it's the end of an era, whether Inzaghi stays or not, and I think he might go. That squad has to be overhauled, it has to be revamped, and we're going to see Beppe Marotta trying to bring in as many free transfers and low budget signings as possible. But it's a bit of a sad, bitter end for a great Inter team, I think.